Have you ever noticed how some risks feel terrifying? Even when the numbers say they shouldn't be, a plane crash on the news makes you tense before your next flight. A story about a shark attack stays in your memory for years. One dramatic headline can make the whole world feel dangerous overnight. But the quiet everyday risks, the ones far more likely to affect you, barely get your attention at all. This isn't logic. This isn't math. This is a psychological shortcut your brain uses without asking for permission. A shortcut that confuses easy to remember with likely to happen. It's called the availability heuristic. Today we're going to explore why your brain uses this shortcut, how it shapes your fears, and why rare events feel huge while common dangers disappear into the background. No statistics lessons, no jargon. Just simple, clear storytelling about the invisible filter that makes some risks feel enormous and others invisible. Let's begin. Have you ever wondered why some dangers feel enormous even when they're rare? While other risks barely cross your mind, even though they happen every day? Why a plane crash can haunt you for years, even if you've never been near one? But driving a car feels normal, even though the numbers say it's far more dangerous. Why stories of shark attacks stick in your memory, but stories of falling coconuts, which harm far more people, do not? The answer isn't fear, and it's not logic. It's a mental shortcut deep inside your brain, silently shaping how you judge danger probability and risk. It's called the availability heuristic, and once you understand it, you'll see the world's dangers in a completely different light. Let's begin. What the availability heuristic actually is. Your brain is a powerful machine, but it has a limitation. It can't calculate exact probabilities for every situation you encounter. So instead of doing math, it takes a shortcut. It asks a simple question. How easily can I recall an example of this? If a memory comes to mind quickly, your brain assumes the event is more common. If it doesn't come to mind, your brain assumes the event is rare. But memory has nothing to do with probability. It has everything to do with emotion, vividness, drama, and recency. So your brain ends up confusing easy to remember with likely to happen. And suddenly, your perception of risk becomes distorted. This is the availability heuristic. Your mind estimates likelihood based on how easily examples come to mind. Not on data, not on statistics. On memory. Why the brain uses this shortcut? To understand this, imagine the world thousands of years ago. If a member of your tribe was once attacked by a wild animal, remembering it vividly helped you survive. Your memory prioritized anything dramatic, emotional, or dangerous because forgetting it could kill you. The brain became wired to scan for vivid memories, not accurate numbers. It learned that the most memorable events were often the ones that mattered most. But in the modern world, vivid events aren't indicators of danger. They're indicators of drama. Media, headlines, stories, videos, sensational content. Your ancient survival instincts are now living in a world of 24-hour news, viral shock moments, and exaggerated imagery. Your brain is prepared for danger, but it's overwhelmed by vividness. Everyday examples that prove the availability heuristic. Let's walk through examples that instantly reveal how your brain uses this shortcut, even when you know the truth. Plane crashes versus car accidents. Plane crashes are rare, extremely rare. But when they happen, they dominate the news. You see images, interviews, footage, stories replayed again and again. Car accidents happen every day. They barely make a headline. They slip past unnoticed. So your mind thinks planes are dangerous. Cars are normal. It feels true, but it isn't. Shark attacks versus cows. Sharks kill a handful of people each year. Cows kill dozens. But which one can you picture more vividly? The shark, because it's dramatic. Crime on the news. Most people believe crime rates are rising, even when the data shows they're falling. This is because rare, shocking crimes are repeated endlessly on television and social media. Your memory becomes filled with vivid examples. Your emotions take over. Your estimate of danger becomes inflated. Winning the lottery. You remember the lucky winners on TV. You don't remember the millions who lost. So your brain thinks the chances are higher than they are. Disasters, epidemics, tragedies. When an event is dramatic, it sticks. When it's common, it fades. Your brain was built for survival, but it wasn't built for accuracy. Why some memories win over others. Certain types of memories take control of your perception. 1. Stories beat statistics. Your brain was shaped to remember narratives. A single story of a dramatic event hits harder than 1,000 data points. 2. Emotional memories stick. Fear, shock, surprise, these lock memories in place. Neutral memories fade. 3. Recent events feel bigger. If something happened yesterday, it feels more likely today, even if it's rare. 4. Visual and vivid information dominates a picture of a burning building or a shark attack, buries a paragraph of statistics instantly. The brain is not fair. It's not balanced. It's biased toward whatever grabs its attention. How the availability heuristic distorts reality. The availability heuristic doesn't just shape your fears. It shapes your decisions. You fear the wrong things. You fear unlikely risks. You ignore common ones. You make choices based on feelings, not facts. Your emotions override your critical thinking. You believe the world is more dangerous than it is. A flood of dramatic stories convinces you the world is falling apart, even when long-term trends show improvement. You get trapped in risk illusions. You defend the vivid. You dismiss the dull. You chase the memorable. You overlook the meaningful. Humans don't see the world accurately. We see the world through the lens of what we can remember. How this bias affects real-life decisions. The availability heuristic influences almost everything. 1. Financial decisions. You invest when you see stories of people getting rich quick. You panic when you hear stories of market crashes. 2. Health decisions. You fear rare diseases because they make the news. You ignore common health risks because they don't. 3. Social beliefs. You think the worst events are frequent simply because they're memorable. 4. Public reactions. A single dramatic event can cause public panic even when the actual risk is tiny. Your brain responds to memory, not mathematics. How to reduce the effect of the availability heuristic. You can't eliminate the bias, no one can, but you can reduce its power. Here's how. 1. Ask for the real data. Whenever something feels dangerous, ask yourself, what is the actual probability? 2. Pause before judging. Give your reasoning brain time to catch up with your emotional brain. 3. Ask, is this risk vivid or common? This simple question can snap you out of the illusion. 4. Look for examples that challenge your assumption. If all your memories point in one direction, search for the opposite. You're not rejecting your instincts, you're balancing them. Final insight. The availability heuristic doesn't show us the world as it really is. It shows us the world as our memories paint it. It exaggerates the dramatic. It hides the ordinary. It makes the rare feel common and the common feel invisible. But once you see this bias clearly, something powerful happens. Your fears become more grounded. Your decisions become more rational. And the world becomes less frightening, not because it changed, but because your perception did. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious, stay aware, and remember, the mind remembers the vivid, not the true. When you understand the availability heuristic, something subtle but powerful happens. You begin to see the gap between fear and risk. You recognize that your mind is drawn toward the dramatic, the emotional, the recent, and the unforgettable, even when those things barely represent the world around you. You realize that danger isn't always where your memories point, and safety isn't always where your instincts send you. The brain evolved to remember stories, not statistics, to protect you from vivid threats, not likely ones. And once you see this clearly, your perception of risk becomes calmer. clearer, and far more accurate. The world doesn't become safer, but your understanding of it becomes wiser. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay thoughtful, stay grounded, and remember, your memories shape your fears, but your awareness shapes your reality.